Hello everyone, my name is Miranda, and if there is one thing I love just as much as I love books, it is Taylor Swift. And I don't know how I missed this because apparently it's been around for like almost a year, but there's a Taylor Swift book tag going around on BookTube, and I really didn't even know it existed until I saw the Book Diaries video for the tag last week. And as soon as I saw it, I knew immediately that this was something I have to do because, I mean, it's combining my two loves, Taylor Swift and books together. It's just like, mind blown. Yeah, I definitely want to do it. All the questions are based off of Taylor Swift songs that you then have to pick book counterparts for, and I'm really excited. I have all the books laid out. You can't see them, but they're in little precarious piles that could tip over and I could stub my toe on, so fingers crossed that doesn't happen. But let's start with the first question. La 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 la. So the first song that we have is actually one of my favorite ever Taylor Swift songs, and it is We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, which was the first single off Red, which came out in 2012, and as soon as I saw this song, I didn't like it the first time I heard it, but now I'm absolutely in love with it. And for our book, we are supposed to pick a book or series that you were pretty sure you were in love with, but then wanted to break up with. Now this for me is going to be the series as a whole, but I'm just holding up one book because I'm weak and can't hold up that many books at the same time. But it's the Divergent series by Veronica Roth. I've said this multiple times, but I was so in love with Divergent, the first book, after I read it. I could not wait to get my hands on the second book, Insurgent. Read Insurgent. It wasn't that great, but it was kind of like, okay. Second books in trilogies aren't usually as good as a general rule because they're just trying to get you to the next thing. So I was super pumped for the third book. I was ready for it to turn all around and be as amazing as I remember Divergent being. And then I found out what happened at the end, and I just didn't even bother to read it. And I'm really glad because I've had friends that read it, and I've seen people on BookTube who have read it and just, they hate themselves for reading it, and they hate that book and want to burn it multiple times, then bring it back just to burn it and then throw it in a pool all over again. Next is pretty easy. It's for the song Red, which is another song that I'm absolutely in love with. Oh my gosh, I love Red so much. And for a book, you just have to pick a book that has a red cover. I've got plenty to pick from, but I ended up going with the book that I swear I pick for every single question when it says pick a red cover, and that is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. I don't know, this is just many feels going on with this one. This is my favorite Hunger Games book, my favorite Hunger Games movie. We're just getting bombarded with Jennifer Lawrence stuff right now with Comic-Con. The Mockingjay Part 2 trailer is coming out next week. We've got her new trailer for Joy. So I feel like when I had to pick a red cover, my eyes were just automatically drawn to this, even though it's kind of orangey, I'm noticing now. It looks more red on the back. I guess we could call it like a burnt sunshine. It's not like red, but it's red. For the song The Best Day, which is one that I don't actually listen to all that often, but it's to pick a book that makes you feel nostalgic. That's how you say the word, nostalgic. And I picked, of course, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone because Harry Potter is the series that I first read. I mean, it was the first like grown-up series that I fell in love with, and I started reading them in like first grade. So of course, every time I read them, I mean, this is just like my childhood right here in one book. So of course, I always feel so nostalgic when I read Harry Potter. Harry Potter, I love you so much. Alright, so next up we have the song Love Story, which coincidentally is a song I love, but also my dad's favorite Taylor Swift song. Like, it's becoming a problem how often he makes me play that song when we're in the car. But anyway, for Love Story, since the song is of course about a Romeo and Juliet-esque type of romance, we are looking for a book with a forbidden love, and for this I picked Bloodlines, because this is the story of a human named Cindy and a vampire named Adrian, and even though it's not like technically against the law, it's taboo for humans and vampires to be in relationships and to marry each other, and Sydney and Adrian start out not really liking each other because of those taboos and those rules against humans and vampires being friendly towards each other, I guess. And it's especially worse because Cindy's the alchemist who basically has been trained to hate every and all thing vampires. Seeing their epic romance start to come to fruition and just them breaking all the rules to be together is beautiful, and I think Taylor Swift and Love Story would agree with me 110% on this. It's a love story, baby, just say yes. Alright, so next song is I Knew You Were Trouble When You Walked In, so shame on me now. This is not the version with the goat, this is the dubstep version with Taylor's actual vocals. But we're supposed to pick a bad character that you couldn't help loving, and this was hard for me because usually when there's a bad character, I don't like them. They bother me. They annoy me. I want them to fall into a pit of spikes and get barbecued in a flame of gasoline and explosions. So it was a tad hard for me to find one that I liked. But I ended up going with Luke from the Percy Jackson series, because Luke, I feel like, is a very sympathetic character as we learn more about him. He's kind of someone who just wasn't brought up right and kind of turned the way he was because of things that were out of his control, and it's really sad. And at the end, he does manage to turn it all around and become the good guy. I think Luke is a character who I always felt really bad for, because I feel like he's someone who wasn't given a lot of choices in life, and the choices that he did make were bad, not excusing any of the choices that he did make, but I feel like had he been given maybe another life, or had his dad actually been around like the parents are supposed to be now that Percy made them, I feel like Luke wouldn't have been the villain, and he would have actually been a really good guy and a really great hero. So maybe I'm a little biased because Jake Abley played him in the Percy Jackson movies, and he is gorgeous! The next song is Innocent, which was written about Kanye West after he interrupted Taylor Swift at the MTV Music Video Awards. And this is supposed to be a book that someone spoiled the ending for you. And this was hard for me to pick, because usually when a book ending is spoiled for me, it's because I spoil it myself. But the one book that was actually spoiled for me was Into the Still Blue by Veronica Rossi, which is the third and final book in the Under the Never Sketch trilogy. This is a book I was so looking forward to, and I was reading it in class one day, and my friend had finished it before me, and she sees me reading it, and she just looks at me and she's like, "You know Perry dies at the end, right?" And I was like, huh, say what? Excuse me? And I was just like so like irritated, because I had memories of Allegiant in the back of my mind, and I was like, I'm so sick of people killing off the main characters. I'm not gonna finish this book. And like it became like a big thing where I like put the book down and like wouldn't read it for 6 months. Then come later, she tells me, she goes, "You know I was just lying about that, right? Perry didn't die." And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I was like, I have not looked at this book for 6 whole months, and I only have like 50 pages left because you told me Perry dies, and I didn't want to put up with that kind of pain, and now you're telling me it's not even true? Like, what is going on right now? So I guess technically she didn't really spoil the ending for me, but she got me good in that I thought she spoiled the ending for me. So thanks for that, friend. Now we have the song Everything Has Changed, which is the song Taylor Swift did with Ed Sheeran. This was the one that kind of like started their friendship, so it's really special and really cute to me. But we're picking a character that went through extensive character development throughout the story. And for this, I picked Mara Dyer from the Unbecoming of Mara Dyer series, if you can see them all, because she is someone who really changed and really became so much stronger than she was in the original book. I mean, like, she was always a sarcastic badass to me, and I loved her, but she just becomes like so much more awesome. Oh, this book is ripped. Someone call the book hospital. This isn't a drill. Okay, anyway, yeah, what was I saying? So Mara Dyer, she just becomes like so much cooler, and she's very scared in this book, I feel like, and even this one, she's really scared to become who she is and embrace who she is. But then in the third book is when she finally embraces who she is and is like, I'm done with everyone using me and abusing me and all that, and is like, this is what I want to do, I'm gonna do it, you can't stop me, and just hands down to Mara Dyer. We all bowed down to her because she's the queen. Okay, so the next song is Forever and Always, and it says pick your favorite book couple. But the thing is, Forever and Always is a song that she wrote about Joe Jonas when he broke up with her in like a 25-second phone call or something like that. So Forever and Always is basically saying like, hey, remember when you said we'd be forever and always? What happened to that? So I changed what the song is supposed to equate to, and I made it for a couple that were together but now aren't together. And for that, I picked Adam and Juliet from the Shatter Me series, because I feel like they really match the song well more than a favorite book couple could, because favorite book couples are actually together. Especially if you read like Ignite Me, like all of Adam's scenes with Juliet when he's just like freaking out, you could definitely be playing Forever and Always and it would fit perfectly. So the last song is Come Back Be Here, which is actually a really great song. It was on like the special Target exclusive for Red, so not everyone knows about that song. For it, we have to pick a book that you wouldn't loan out to anyone for fear of missing it. I'm usually pretty good about loaning my books out to certain people if I trust them with my books and know that they'll bring them back. I'll give you like any book you want. One book I really wouldn't want to part with though right now is Isla and Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins, because I absolutely love this book. Like, this is one of those books I kept putting down because I didn't want to finish it. Even now, like, seeing it on my shelf just makes me smile, like, to myself and be like, oh, we had such good times reading it. Remember when Josh was out in the snow and waiting for you? Oh my gosh. The times, guys, it really just feels like happy memories when I look at it on my shelf, and if it were missing off my shelf, I'd feel sad and empty. So this is why Isla is staying with me forever. Alright, so there you guys have it. That was the Taylor Swift book tag. Got all these books that I used for the tag, and I'm trying to draw the sentence out more so I can grab all the books. Can these ones fit on my head? Oh! So there you go. These are all the books that I had. If you want to do the Taylor Swift tag, which I'm sure half of you have already done it because, like I said, I'm one of the only ones who didn't know it existed until last week, definitely do the tag and let me know down below so I can check out your picks and everything. And I'm going to leave the link to Kristen's video so you can see her picks because she had some really, really awesome picks that I didn't even think of in my wildest dreams. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Please leave a like if you want to see more tag videos. Oh, they're falling. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Oh my gosh, they're falling. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Bye!